Following the encounter with Beerus, Goku now has a new goal in mind. Thankfully, he already did impress Beerus enough, but he's not quite where he has to be at. Although, it shouldn't be too hard for him to get to where Beerus wants him to be. So what's that going to take, and how strong is Goku going to grow? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 6 of What If Goku Became Kami. Goku's first step to trying to get stronger is training with his new training partner, Majin Buu. Of course, it seems like Buu lost a little bit of his power when he was purified, but he's still pretty powerful as a training partner, which is nice. And he spends a lot of his time on the Sacred World of Kai's training there. But he still can't figure out a way to unlock the Super Saiyan God form. He was hoping that he could just train for it, but whatever he's doing doesn't seem to work. But Elder Kai has an interesting suggestion. It's kind of a long shot, but he says Goku can try to go to Namek maybe. On Namek, they have a book that records every sort of legend in the universe, and whatever info they have about it. And since the Super Saiyan God sounds like a legend to them, maybe that book will have some info about it. So, Goku has to end up going there. Thankfully, he's pretty welcome on the planet, especially with the fact that he's a god from another planet, and he also works under the Supreme Kai. He's able to get access to the Book of Legends and looks into it. All the info here is crazy, and he can find some stuff about the Super Saiyan God too. But it seems like the only way to get that form is to actually use a ritual for it. Although, he doesn't really want to do that. Thankfully here, he's not under pressure from Beerus to do so. In Battle of Gods, he really had no choice. He had to do it, otherwise Beerus would have blown up Earth. Here, it's not nearly that urgent. But Goku can also see that a Super Saiyan God is something that requires godly ki, and he remembers that Beerus noted he had some sort of godly ki within him already. So, Goku starts theorizing. Maybe if he just simply manifests that ki into a form somehow, he could use that to unlock the form himself. That way it'll feel earned, and he'll get the Super Saiyan God form that Beerus wants. The issue is, he doesn't necessarily know how to tap into that ki. It's there. So the issue isn't getting it, it's actually accessing that ki and trying to build it up somehow. Thankfully Goku's pretty suited for that kind of training too. He's knowledgeable as a martial artist and such, as well as basically being a master of regular ki. It's pretty simple for him to see that training for raw strength isn't what's going to get him this form. It's something completely separate. Although, he does wonder about the ultimate form again. Apparently that was supposed to draw out some of his potential, so he wonders if maybe he has some more locked in there. And considering that godly ki is part of his potential, maybe that could help draw it out. Again, another easy option for this is asking Elder Kai to unlock more of his power, if that's even possible somehow. But the whole point of Goku not doing the ritual is so that he can get the power on his own. So getting Elder Kai's help would be a little bit of a shortcut for that too, and he doesn't really like that. Goku returns to the Sacred World of Kai and begins a new type of training. He's completely stopped focusing on strength here. He's focused on just focus, essentially, trying to draw out that specific ki that he has. For weeks on end, he's there, basically just meditating. He does image training too, but most of the time he's just meditating to try and unlock that power. He doesn't know how much godly ki he has. It might be so little that it's going to be tough to unlock. Maybe there's a ton there and accessing it is just tough. But it doesn't take too long for him to figure out how to actually pinpoint it. The second he does, he tries to manifest that ki, also going into Ultimate to try and draw it out himself. Despite him not really liking being granted power, this Ultimate form is going to be really helpful for him. And in Ultimate, his aura starts morphing. It changes shape and color too. And he could feel it. It's a completely different type of ki flowing through him, one that he's never sensed before. One that he didn't even know how to sense until now. He doesn't really change appearance. He looks as if he's in his normal Ultimate form. But his aura is different. It's as if he's manifesting the power of godly ki within this form itself. It's not like Goku would know what the Super Saiyan God is either, so maybe this is what he needs to get. Maybe it's just this power being manifested. Of course, he knows it's a form, or at least some sort of state of being. He read the Namekian Book of Legends. But without knowing the specifics of it, he theorizes that maybe this is what he was looking for. This is what he'd need to fight Beerus. So he continues working with this. Little does Goku know, he didn't actually unlock the Super Saiyan God form. But he has access to godly ki, and his ultimate form was greatly buffed by this. He could go a step further and attain the Super Saiyan God form. It's in there somewhere now. It's also a weirdly unique case for him because first of all he has ultimate, second of all he has godly ki already, and third it's the way he's trying to attain this form too. With all these unique circumstances together, him getting the Super Saiyan God form would look way different than normal. And Goku's able to get in contact with Beerus again, with the two of them fighting once more. Beerus knows that he can sense that godly presence, but it doesn't seem to be enough. He was hoping there would be more power within there. Sure, Goku was strong before even without the godly ki, but now, he's far above where he was. Although, it's a little bit disappointing for Beerus. With a Super Saiyan God, he would have thought it would have been something greater. But from what Beerus theorizes, maybe this isn't a Super Saiyan God. Maybe Goku's on the cusp of it, and he just needs a little bit of an extra push. He doesn't have the God form because it's assimilated within his base and all his other forms right now. He essentially skipped the step of getting the form, but neither of them realize that. He's also been training months with this godly ki that he just unlocked too. He's grown a lot stronger, he can manifest it easily, and in general he's just more skilled and more powerful. So Beerus asks Goku how it is that they unlock new forms. Well, Goku doesn't really know. It's not just emotion, but from what he knows, Vegeta partially unlocks Super Saiyan through training, emotion, and having the mindset to get it. Although he doesn't necessarily know the specifics of it because him unlocking Super Saiyan is way different from how Vegeta did it. So maybe there's multiple ways of doing this. and Beerus really takes this to heart. It sounds like Goku needs to be pushed. Maybe that way he can unlock a new form. Beerus says he has an idea, but he's not sure if Goku's gonna like it. They're going to fight until he unlocks a new form. And Goku doesn't have a choice here. An odd aura flares up around Beerus. He looks almost angrier, and Whis could tell that he's about to lose control. But he wonders how far he's truly gonna go with this. Goku doesn't know if he can handle that sort of power that Beerus is using, but Beerus says it doesn't matter. He apologizes to Goku, but this will benefit the both of them. And Goku's nervous, but at the same time, he is a little bit excited. Maybe this method will work. He hasn't really had a true challenge in a while, so fighting someone like Beerus with his full power, or at least a very small fraction of his full power, that could actually help him unlock this. So, reluctantly, he agrees to this method. But he's worried. He doesn't think just him being beaten up will be enough to unlock the form. But Beerus says it doesn't matter. Whis is going to heal him. Whenever Goku's at the point of tapping out, Whis will slowly heal him back to where he was before, and they'll just keep doing it until he unlocks a new form. They're basically going to try to force the form out. That's kind of terrifying for Goku, but at the same time, he can see it working, especially without him having ever had a challenge in a while. Maybe that is what he needs to go beyond his current self. The fight resumes. Goku is able to keep up for a little bit, but Beerus starts to get a little bit more serious. Easily beating Goku, and only a few hits no less once he shows more power. Whis then simply goes over to Goku, tapping him with the staff and healing him instantly. Another round begins. Each time Goku gradually adjusts, growing stronger too, and Beerus can clearly see that growth. But he might be holding back too much against Goku. He knows Saiyans grow from also being injured greatly, at least to some sort of extent. Maybe he could try to exploit that too. Or maybe he needs something else to push him, like anger. Maybe Beerus kind of ruined his chances here. Goku knows Beerus isn't going to kill him regardless. And no matter what happens, he gets healed at the end of the battle. He's not going to see that there's any stakes here. So, Beerus tries to change his approach, and Whis can immediately see the change in demeanor. He waited all this time for a Super Saiyan God, and he's gotten nothing. Beerus starts to play up his anger a little bit, even threatening to actually kill Goku, telling Whis to not heal him this time around. Goku's going to be useless. There's no way he's going to be Beerus' rival. He's frustrated that he had to wait this long, and he didn't even get anything out of it. How dare he keep a God of Destruction waiting like that and lie to him? And Goku is actually getting a bit terrified of this too, seeing that Beerus might be serious about this. But Beerus dials back his power a bit. He's going to prolong this fight as long as he can, giving Goku a better chance to fight him, but at the same time prolonging his beatdown. Goku didn't even tell Beerus about the Super Saiyan God ritual yet. He doesn't want to do it, but maybe he's going to have to tell Beerus, although he doesn't even really have the chance to do so. Because Goku didn't want to use the ritual to unlock this power, now he's kind of in a tough spot. Beerus is absolutely wailing on him, pushing Goku more than he's been pushed in a long time. How long has it been since Goku's faced a challenge like this? Not since the 23rd World Tournament. He forgot what this feels like. And maybe that's affected him. He hasn't had the need to push himself beyond where he is. Of course, he could train as much as he wants, but he's never had those stakes there. And now, he's facing them for the first time in a while. And he's beaten to the point where he can't even fight anymore. He has no energy. He's too injured. And as the icing on the cake, Beerus holds a hand out, charging a purple blast of ki in front of it. Or at least, what looks like ki. He's a God of Destruction. And what this is, it's pure destructive energy. He tells Goku once he's hit by this, he doesn't just die. He's completely erased. He ceases existing. The sphere of energy grows larger and larger. But suddenly, there's a bright pink flash of light. As Goku yells, everyone senses this huge increase in strength. But no one necessarily knows what just happened. Is this the Super Saiyan God form that Beerus was looking for? Well, in a way, it is a godly Super Saiyan form. Goku's there, looking like he's in Super Saiyan, except his hair is tinted pinkish this time. This is definitely something new. His aura is completely different as well. Through a mix of anger pushing him to this, and his unique position as an actual divine being, Goku unlocks something here that he wouldn't have unlocked normally. Inadvertently, he unlocks the Super Saiyan Rosé form. He starts fighting back against Beerus, and Beerus is elated. This is exactly what he wanted. Actually, no, more than that. Neither of them knew the specifics of the Super Saiyan God form, and they assume that this is that. At least at first. But Beerus slowly realizes, the entire time, Goku might have been a Super Saiyan God. He just had that power within him in base. There wasn't a transformation with that. Maybe there is a form, maybe there isn't. Whatever the case though, Goku already was one. This is something beyond what he had before. And maybe the Super Saiyan God form itself, it wasn't really too impressive. This one though, it really is. The fight ends and Beerus says he's surprised that actually worked. He apologizes to Goku, but that was the only method he could see for unlocking this. Goku's healed up, and Beerus says he truly is a worthy rival. Now, it's time to work on this pink-haired form. Goku leaves the Sacred World of Kai, eventually going with Beerus. He does want to bring Buu along too because he's grown pretty fond of Buu. But Beerus knows what Buu is, and regardless of if he's been purified, that thing's not coming on his planet, especially because he's probably going to eat all the good food there. He can't have that. Thankfully, with Goku being such a good guardian, not only does he notice the Frieza Force eventually coming to Earth to try and revive Frieza, but he completely stops it really easily. And we also skip the Universe 6 tournament too. Champa sees how strong Goku is and knows that if he's going to be on the other team, his team will lose regardless, even with someone as strong as Hit maybe. Champa doesn't know for sure, but he doesn't want to take his chances, especially if they have other strong people just like that. Another reason the tournament is skipped is because Champa realizes he doesn't need the Super Dragon Balls and stops trying to gather them. Because Goku suggests that he simply wishes back Earth. They should have Dragon Balls on Namek in Universe 6 if it's the same as the Namek here, maybe even on other planets. When reading the Book of Legends, he saw that there's other sets of Dragon Balls out there, other Namekians on other planets, so maybe the same goes for Universe 6. Even better, he could just have a Kai create a new Earth and wish for the life there to return. He probably doesn't need the Super Dragon Balls to do this. Wouldn't it be better to start from scratch with the planet that they know won't destroy itself? Of course, Champa still does want the Super Dragon Balls. Goku did bring some Earth food here to Beerus' planet, and that's what made Champa want to revive it, which gave him the twisted idea to transport Universe 7's Earth to Universe 6. But you know, this is better. This way he doesn't have to fight a losing tournament, he doesn't have to get in another argument with Beerus, and he gets his Earth back. Maybe he was being too rash and focused on just pissing Beerus off. When here, he could use this to get free good food. Thankfully, it is a period of relative peace. Goku spends a lot of time on Beerus' planet working on this form and training under Whis. And Super Saiyan Rose has some insane power. Possibly he could even go beyond that, which is what he's working towards now. Although, Shin has another good idea for Goku. Since Goku's learning more about gods and such, and the fact that he wants to travel the multiverse, maybe he should meet Kais from other universes too. There is one that they know and they frequently visit, who spars with Kibito a bunch, and this time Goku goes along with them, meeting the apprentice Kai from Universe 10, Zamasu. Thankfully, without the Universe 6 tournament, and without time travel here, there's nothing really to tick Zamasu off about mortals. Well, he still doesn't like mortals that much, but without those things there, he doesn't get corrupted just yet and enact the Zero Mortals plan. Although, meeting Goku does surprise him. This mortal, he's some sort of apprentice? Why would Shin take a mortal as a student like that? And immediately upon the first meeting with Zamasu, Goku can sense something evil within his heart. It's dormant, and it's not really that significant right now, but it still is there. So Goku takes this encounter a lot more seriously. Once again, this ability that he got is coming in handy. Because if he didn't have this, he probably would have been too casual with Zamasu and might have pissed him off even more. But he tells Shin about this, that Kai is going down a dark path, and maybe Goku can show him what mortals are really like. That Kai seems to have a bad view on them. But just like Goku's changed the outlook and view of others, he's gonna do it with this Kai too. We've covered a lot of Goku though, so what's happening on Earth? Let's go back there for a bit. Of course, Goku does come back time to time, and they eventually do find out about his godly form, which absolutely astounds Vegeta. He wants to gain that godly power too. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Rose, whatever it is. He doesn't know the specifics of any of the forms, and honestly, neither do they. Everyone's kind of in the dark here due to how Goku wanted to unlock it. But Vegeta's gonna do whatever he can possible, training rigorously to catch up to Kakarot and even surpass him. He'll become a god too, whatever it takes. He spends a lot more time on the lookout to see Piccolo and Gohan, and he tells the two of them whether they like it or not, they're gonna work on this together. There's no other way for him to gain this power, and they're gonna have to grow stronger too alongside him. The three of them will train and go beyond their limits. Right now, Vegeta's worked beyond Super Saiyan. He's gotten Super Saiyan 2 and even Super Saiyan 3, although the latter does have some big downsides. But that can't be his limit. He has to be able to go further than that. All the while, Goku's so far ahead of everyone. The gap is insane. Even compared to his canon self at this point, Goku's far above that. His training's been so different and so beneficial that he's at a point now where his power is pretty unfathomable to everyone else. Also part of the reason Champa didn't want to do a tournament against him. He's gotten perfect control over this Rose form. Oddly enough, it seems that anger could grow this form, but Goku doesn't really like that. That's not his style. Maybe it's just due to him being a Saiyan with divine powers. But there's other ways for him to grow too. Especially now with perfect control over this form and harmony with himself, Goku knows a power that can mesh with this form really well. How about this? A combination of his divine powers, his Saiyan powers, his magical abilities, and another technique he's learned in the past. He was thinking maybe he could try and go beyond Rose by getting some form like Rose 2 or something, but this is something he's already had within him, and he shows this off to Beerus one day. Powering up into Rose, but the aura of it looks more red than normal, with a red outline appearing outside of it, and the aura gaining a fiercer shape too. And Goku's eyes, which are normally silver in this form, they turn a bright red color. He's surprised he was able to pull this off. It was dangerous and risky, but the payoff is huge. What he's done is combine his perfect control over Super Saiyan Rose with his power from Evolved Kaioken, something he has a much better control of right now. The power is incredible too. Beerus is really impressed. This mortal never ceases to amaze him. Although, calling him a mortal is not really fair at this point. He truly is a godly being. Goku doesn't really know what to call this form. Of course, he could just call it Rose Evolved Kaioken, but that's kind of a mouthful. He has a much better name for it. This is a form unique to him, the culmination of his unique powers and his unique lifestyle. This is Goku's newest state of power, Crimson Kai. And this is where we'll end off for now. What do you guys think about this part and what's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help with the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.